What is going on, game players? How are you, brothers and sisters, doing this evening? I want to welcome you guys to Listener Feedback episode number 7. And I got to tell y'all, I think this is the most stacked listener feedback that we have ever had. So I want to thank every last one of you guys that participated this week in advance, because we're going to have a great time going over these listener feedback questions, answers, and opinions. Now, I have to put this out there, guys. If you, the listener, listening right now, want to be a part of the next episode of listener feedback, you can do it 2 different ways. You can either call in at 443-216-9934 and let your voice be heard, or you can email the show, and the email address is, of course, like I say all the time, the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. Did I tell you guys who I am? I am Kiaun Mitchell, your host. I might have forgot all about that. But anyway, without further ado, man, I want to jump in to the emails this week. Man, we got some, so I'm going to take them like I always do in the order that they were received. So up first is Mr. Oh man, I'm telling you, this brother, he's been writing in since day one. Mr. Cody Clark. Now, the title of his email is called, oh man, brother, what we doing here, Cody? What is happening, brother? The name of his email is Deep Pockets and Shallow Convictions. Woo! Let's talk about it, Cody. He says, howdy, K. I have to say, your podcast last week about Digital Foundry caught me by surprise. Oh yeah, brother, I think they've been compromised. But he says, I have only ever really taken them at arm's length, and as one of many who do performance reviews and breakdowns of some physical hardware. Over the last few years, I had felt like they had a strong bias to favor Sony, at least for the PlayStation 4/Xbox One generation. So hearing news that they could have flipped for some unknown reason sort of made me go, quote, huh. Imagine that. I'm gonna pause right there for a second, Cody. You are absolutely right. Do you guys remember 900p versus 1080p and how they brought up on the screen over at Digital Foundry Grand Theft Auto 5? And they started talking about the individual blades of grass and start ripping Microsoft apart for it. Yeah, brother. Cody, it was definitely a bias back then against the Xbox One. But let me continue with your email, brother. He says, but I am not sure what part makes that the case. Are they ad-driven media? Did Sony bounce a check and Microsoft pick up a tab? Oh man. He says, for them, or are fans on one side calling conspiracy theories out because one of their prior supporters has called for the other side? He says, I mean, it sort of reflects all media. Don't just get your news from one source. That's very true, Cody. He says, I mean, the problem is we don't know who is cutting who checks. He says this isn't the same as the Steelers and the Ravens meeting on the field every week to see who ends the game on top. This is some almost hitman level corporate shenanigans stuff. Oh yeah, we got the Steelers this weekend. I'm hoping we come through, Cody. But like he said, let me continue with your email. He says, this is almost hitman level corporate shenanigans stuff. Back deals, take backs, buyouts, cutthroat stuff. Let me tell you something. I want to pause right there, Cody, because I know you got some more in this email, but that is a good point, man. This console war, this thing is starting to turn not just into a console war. It's starting to feel more like mafia console wars out here because you don't know who the world to trust. Here you have Microsoft teaming up with GameStop. You know their stuff is going to be in the front. Different, the program, what is it? The Xbox All Access program. They're going to be a legit, seller of it. What else, man? It's just the advertising. It's going to be heavy in GameStop because of their partnership. And then as it looks from the outside, it looks like, man, I mean, look, the thing that raised the red flag for me, Cody, and as far as you talking about this being hit man level type of stuff, not knowing who to trust, not knowing who's making these man, what did you just say, brother? I want to read it. Making these back deals, in back alleys and whatnot. It's looking real cutthroat. It's like, who the world can you trust? Microsoft, that just looks like that's just trying to align with so many different people. But anyway, let me continue. Not so many people. It just seems like Digital Foundry and GameStop. But good grief, those are two big outlets. But let me finish with your email, brother. He says, plus, they have to deliver Metacritic approved and financially successful games. Working at EA and seeing how people freak out about, can we talk about Metacritic scores? Like why they be the be all end all? Who made them the frickin' Rotten Tomatoes of the game industry? Yeah, Cody, it sound like you don't like these guys, brother. He says, anyways, I love every media outlet to have a badge on their site saying who paid them fees. He says, I see you, Giant Bomb, and your money payola from Sony. Oh, shucks, wait a minute, Cody, are you saying, brother, that you think, Giant Bomb is, been compromised, my brother? Do you think that Sony is cutting them the check, as it were? Oh, man, I don't know. He continues to say, let's see, okay, until some trailblazer can prove that is the best and most successful way to do stuff. We just get to watch from the outside. Then he continues on and says, meanwhile, here is my Xbox card where I admit to being okay with 99.9999999% of the stuff they are doing. Come on, Cody. Man, listen, bro, you know what? I respect that, though. As a fan, man, Cody said, look, man, I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm pretty cool with what's going on. Sony definitely had a lot of mind share. People were on Sony's side all generation. Digital Foundry did no favors to Microsoft when it came down to this console generation, where everything they did, that 900p and that 720p or whatever P resolution it was, they were getting ripped apart. And then down to the frames per second and the rest, everything. So just to see them actually flipping a little bit. Once again, I'm not saying that they've been compromised, but good grief, from the outside looking in, it makes me wonder, good grief, they didn't really rip Dirt 5 apart. And I understand that who makes Dirt 5? Codemasters. They had an interview with them, so they might not have wanted to burn that bridge. I get it. I understand. But that Halo Infinite, man, red flag on the play, brother. So it's gonna be interesting, and I agree with you, Cody. We should know who the world is in whose pocket. That way we can look at what they're telling us and be very, very skeptical. But once again, you brought up another good point in this email, Cody, saying that we should all go to several different sources. Don't just go to one source. Go around, shop around the net, and get various opinions from various places. So that is definitely something we must do. And then you kind of combine it all together. If most of it's good, then more than likely it's a good thing. But Cody, it's going to be interesting, brother, man. All of these alliances that Microsoft is forming, man, it's mafia console wars out here, brother. Anybody can and will get it. It is a cutthroat game. Cody, I want to thank you for this email, brother, but I believe that you sent me another email here. And, yeah, you got the second spot, brother. Here's the next email from Cody. Now, the title of this email is called Behind Lock and Key, or, well, account and password anyways. He says, while I do normally support 99% of Xbox and Microsoft's decision, yeah, we just heard that, brother, 99.99999. I hear you, brother. He says, this one does not sit well with me. So you sent me a link here. Let's see what this link is, brother. Matter of fact, I think Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this. This was actually very interesting, Cody. Thank you for sending this in. It was an article Cody sent in. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Minecraft in 2021, in order for you to play it, you will have to have a Microsoft account to be able to play. So, I mean, look, now this is an interesting play, because could it be a situation where we see that Microsoft, that they've had Minecraft on all platforms, they've never yanked it off, they've never taken away any exclusive content or anything like that. You want to play it on your tablet, fine, you go at it, you have a great time and enjoy yourself. But is it a situation where in this upcoming next generation that Microsoft is going to start to tighten the belt a little bit? I mean, once again, Phil Spencer, he's not being very transparent about the Bethesda deal because they have not officially closed the deal out. So he has to be diplomatic, I guess. You know, he got to give the right answer, not too far left, not too far right. But could it be a situation? And I don't know. Because later on this week, when I record the next podcast, we're going to get into something that Phil Spencer's been talking about, and I don't agree with it. But could it be a situation, since we're talking about this at hand, Minecraft, that Microsoft is going to start to kind of funnel people down a certain path? Because we know, it's no doubt about it, the Game Pass is their golden goose. That's what shout out the Goose, by the way. Where the heck you been at, brother? Right in, man. Want to hear from you. But, we know that that's their meal ticket, and that's the thing that they are putting so many resources on, and are trying to get people into that ecosystem as much as possible. So could this situation of having to have a Microsoft account start to be the beginning of them just trying to push people down a certain path, slowly but surely? It's going to be interesting, Cody. I never thought that I would see this, because all we've heard Phil Spencer saying is, you know, they want everything on every device. And yes, it can still be on the same device. You just got to have a Microsoft account. So I don't want to put that out there like, oh man, they're taking it away. You just got to have you got to have an account in order to continue to play, but you'll be able to play on your own, I guess, your own devices, and things will carry over. But Cody, I want to thank you, brother. What a heck of a way to get us started. Cody, thank you so much for these 2 emails. You are my dude, man. And please, by all means, my good brother, continue with the great emails. Keep writing in, and please keep sending them, and I will continue to read them off. Thank you so much, good brother. Now we have here, who is up next in the ring? We got oh man, this is Vaughn. Oh shucks. All right. So what we gonna do is, Vaughn, he sent in a voicemail. Man, good old Vaughn. That's my dude. So without further ado, I'm not going to hold Vaughn up any longer. Vaughn, what I need you to do, brother, is go ahead and take the floor, because it is yours.
What's up, Kiaun? Let me try this again. Had a little bit of emergency, so I had to call back. I wanted to check in and see if you ever got a reserve on a PlayStation 5 or one of the Xboxes. And go over what happened with me. I haven't heard anybody talking about what kind of my experience with the PlayStation 5. I was able to get a PlayStation 5 reserve, and I heard people were getting invites from Sony prior to them opening up the reservations, and I was one of the people who got an email invite from Sony saying that you've been selected, or if you want to be selected, put your name on the list. I did it, didn't really think anything about it after that, and then was surprised when I actually got an email from them a couple weeks later saying I was picked. And then on the day that they opened up the reserves, it basically said follow these instructions to the T, sign in, it'll put you in a queue, and don't refresh the page, and then it'll tell you it'll refresh on its own, and then it'll tell you what number in line you are, how many minutes you got left. Whole process took maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, and it opened up the page, said you're next, open up the page, and I was able to reserve one, and then it took me to the page with the accessories, so I was able to get a extra controller and a charge station and the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, and of course the system. And bringing that up because I haven't heard anybody else who said they got the invitations, what happened, what their experience was they able to get one. Didn't get an Xbox. I did check out another show that was on Twitch, I believe, where the guy had like 4 pages up, Amazon, Best Buy, Microsoft, and another page, and they were showing how they couldn't get anything. So I was just wondering if you were able to secure one. I'd love to hear your experience about that. It's crazy to believe, switching to another subject, that Cyberpunk, the first reveal was 8 years ago when they first announced they was working on it. 8 long years, and now we're less than 4 weeks away. So second question is, what game are you going to try to finish up before Cyberpunk comes out? All right, that's it for me this week. Keep doing your thing. It's Vaughn. I'm out. Peace.
My dude Vaughn, shout out to you, good brother. It is always a pleasure, man, to hear your voice and to hear you call in and leave these questions. Now, I gotta say, this one is something else right here, Vaughn, because you must have had the greatest PlayStation 5 buying experience ever. You said that it only took you 5 to 10 minutes to check out, and then on top of that, you were able to get accessories, and you got Miles Morales. Brother, I got to tell you, I have never heard anybody say that they had this kind of experience. I don't know. Wait a minute, Vaughn. You might be that MVP PlayStation player that they were talking about. I mean, good grief. I have listened to podcast after podcast after podcast, and every single story I've heard has been a horror story. People talking about they almost having heart attacks, and they all nervous, and they're twitchy, and they trying to get the pre-order in, and then Amazon is kicking them out. Best Buy's kicking them out. Target, nobody has anything. GameStop is giving away systems to people that aren't even in line and whatnot. I mean, everybody seems like they got PlayStation 5 PSD, man. PSD. God dog. I mean, it's like people are talking about it really, really got to them. It was nerve-wracking. I'm like, golly, I don't know what how y'all dealing with this? I ain't never felt that before. Not over buying a console. But I'm going to tell you, this is phenomenal, man, because you remember, Vaughn, back at one time, they were saying that it was supposed to be this smooth, that they were going to take all of the emails into consideration, and the guys that were really PlayStation fans, basically the emails seemed like they were going to look out for those guys. That's why I'm saying that maybe due to your reputation on the PlayStation brand, they went on and got you in, brother. I mean, you were like in the VIP club, 5 to 10 minutes. That's unreal. You didn't have to refresh the page or anything like that, man, brother. God doggone. Man, we talking to a PlayStation MVP right here. Wow. That's amazing, man. That, man, I just got to tip my hat to you, brother, for that. Good gosh. But for me, it's interesting because, first off, no, Vaughn, I didn't get a reserve for myself. I didn't get the PlayStation 5, and I didn't get the Xbox Series X either. I didn't even attempt it, brother. I got slightly interested in doing it, but I was like, nah, I'll wait till the beginning of the year, man. It's cool. I ain't in no rush. And plus, brother, you know me, my work schedule is so off kilter, man. You know, I'm sleeping while, you know, people are awake. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. If I really wanted it, I would have stayed up and took the steps, but I just wasn't, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm getting both of them. As much flack as I give Xbox, you know, I'm still going to eventually get one, but I'm definitely getting a PS5. It's just, I didn't really feel I didn't feel the urge, like, to just, I gotta get it now. I got to. I haven't been that way since, like, the 360 era, man, where I'm just in such a major rush, because for the first couple of months, there's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be some good games out there, but I'll be able to play some of those on the other console, you know, the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. So I'm in a rush, but I'm not, you know, just out there trying to, you know, dive into the store. Give me all of it. I need it now. You know what I mean? It's not really, you know, like that for me at the moment. But to answer another one of your questions, I did get an invitation. They did send me the email, and I brushed it off, Vaughn. I was like, I ain't worried about it, because of another buddy of mine, shout out to Renard, man. He actually got one, and he said his didn't go through. He said, man, they didn't give it to me. You know, I don't know what happened with that, but he was out trying to find some himself. So after he told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. But, yeah, man, but to, talk about, Cyberpunk. Oh, shucks. Hey, Vaughn, your timing on Cyberpunk is crazy, man, because we all know, we're going to get into it in the next episode of the Analog Circle, the regular podcast. That joint got delayed, brother, and people are upset. Man, Vaughn, I tell you, brother, it's crazy, because you just told me something. You taught me something, actually. I didn't know that Cyberpunk was shown 8 years ago. I thought it was like around 6 or 7, but 8 years? That's a long time, man. Almost a decade. And they've had delay after delay after delay. And, you know, at least it is still coming out this year. So that is a plus. But I'm going to tell you, Vaughn, I don't know what games I was going to beat, brother. I don't know. I mean, I'm working on DMC 5 right now, but soon as Cyberpunk hits the hand, brother, everything is just getting put to the side, brother, depending on how good it is, how immersive it is, because, I mean, our hopes are so high that this game is going to be like a Witcher 3, just level game as far as detail and side quests and how amazing it's going to be. I'm just hoping that they can really match that level, because they set the bar so high with Witcher 3 that I think that if Cyberpunk even comes slightly shorter than people's expectations, they're gonna maybe not trash it, but they'll be pretty hard on it. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to keep that same level of consistency going with Cyberpunk 2077. And if it does hold my attention, Vaughn, I will absolutely go through it, man, for sure. I mean, but it's also like a double-edged sword for me, because The Witcher 3, as good of a game, I wouldn't say good, as great of a game as The Witcher 3 was and is, I still didn't finish it, Vaughn. It's still upstairs. I have not finished it. I think I might have got about 10 or 11 hours into it. And I was like, man, it's such a great game, but it's just so long, man. It's just taking too long to get through. And it was enjoyable, but games start coming. You know, Vaughn, they never stop, man. Games never stop coming through. And it's such an amazing contrast, just talking about, you know, just the influx of games that we get, man, on a constant basis. Back in the 90s and the 2000s, early part of the 2000s, games weren't releasing like these high AAA title budget games. They weren't releasing on a consistent basis that they are now. So you had time to let certain things breathe and, take your time on certain games because you knew another one wasn't coming for maybe another 7 or 8 months. But nowadays we just getting hit with a barrage of games after games after games after games. So it's like, when something like Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, you already know what you're up against, Vaughn. You know it's going to be a long game, and you know it's going to take some time. So, for me, it kind of comes down to as long as it can hold my attention, I'll keep on rocking with it. But if something comes out and it's something I'm looking forward to more so, and it's a little shorter, I'll drop Cyberpunk and, I'll play a couple more games and I'll come back to it. So, I never was really in a rush to finish anything, Vaughn. I was just gonna put down whatever I had going on to get started in Cyberpunk. And yeah, just took it from there, man. But this is amazing that you had that much of a smooth transaction. That's amazing, Vaughn. I wish more people were able to have had the same thing happen to them, man. But yeah, for me, Vaughn, I'm not really worried about it too much. Like I said, sometime next year between March and April, when I'll be able to walk into a store and just pick one up. And, I'm just a little. Another thing is, and this is not to have anybody else feel this way, absolutely not, but I'm also just a little leery about the first set of consoles that come off of the assembly line because, they have defects, some of them, but that's nothing a warranty can't solve. I know that, but, it's just like, man, I just don't want to run into that problem and then have to wait to get another system. And it's still probably going to happen because I'll be getting it within that first year wave of consoles. But I figure in my mind, and it's just me, that if I wait, let a couple million fall off the line first, maybe by the time I get it, the chances of it being less defective, are more so in my favor of getting one that won't have any problems. But that's just in my warped mind, man. But Vaughn, I want to thank you for this. God, dog, what a heck of a voicemail you sent me this week, man. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked that happened. I'm happy for you though, brother. And I definitely can't wait to hear your impressions of the PlayStation 5. Right now, Digital Foundry, they got their hands on it. They were playing the Astrobot game, talking about the controller. It feels great. It's a amazing experience. So I cannot wait to hear how you're going to feel about the PlayStation 5, because Astrobot comes with every PlayStation 5. So you'll be able to get your hands on time with it, and especially Miles Morales. Very excited to hear your thoughts on that when the time comes, Vaughn. But thank you so much for this voicemail. It's always fantastic to hear from you, good brother. And I hope that you continue to I'm about to say write in. I do that every single time, man, to call in and keep on giving your thoughts and your opinions. Thank you so much, my good brother. Now we're going to move into a new person. I've never seen this gentleman before, and it is fantastic to see this. So we have a new person entering into the listener feedback. Now, the title of his email is Sir William X of the PlayStation Universe. What is going on, good brother? He says, Sir William X, and I guess this is his PSN name, so any of you guys that are looking for someone to play with on these different games, that's his gamer tag, Sir William X. He says, PSN here. He says, PlayStation lifer, 38-year-old trucker. My man, you in the same industry as me. Go get it, brother. let me see. I said 38-year-old trucker, big Tekken fan. He says subset Tekken. Get at me. Oh man, you gotta get his gamer tag one subset. You guys gotta link up and get it in, good brother. He says, let me continue with this good man's email. He says, long time listener, a little over a year. Oh man. And first time writer from Nashville. What? Say word, man. Nashville, man. You know what? Hold on, brother. Wait a second. I got a bit of a problem with y'all, man. The way y'all did my Ravens last season, man. Anyway, he says, speaking of that, he says, I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan, but his passing hasn't been so good this year. Y'all need to hashtag tighten up. I see how you did that. It was kind of like a double entendre. They got to tighten up. You don't tighten up the play, but they also got to be more like the Titans. I see what you did there, good brother. Anyway, he continues to say, in regards to your latest show on October 21st, the Terminator is on Mortal Kombat 11, so you can put Sylvester against Arnold. I thought so, man. I thought I was tripping on that, but I'm glad I wasn't. Yeah, that's incredible, man. Two of the biggest 80s stars ever. But he says, to respond to Vaughn's voicemail. Vaughn. He says, about losing or giving something away and regretting the hell out of the decision. In high school, I traded a Troy Aikman rookie card for a random Emmitt Smith. Golly. He says, I was a big Emmett fan and I didn't consider the discrepancy of the monetary value. And he said of a few $1,000s of a difference. Oh, I know that had to hurt. He says, silly me. He says, also, please continue the giveaways, especially for the PlayStation 4. I'll claim them. Okay, my brother. He says, lastly, I dig the different beats for every show. Oh, man. Especially the July 5th beat. Do you make those yourself? Anyways, keep up the great work. Congrats on the growth. I appreciate that, brother. He says, P.S. How come you always seem pressed to fall under an hour for each show? Just curious. God bless. Hey, brother Sir William X. First off, man, I want to welcome you, brother. First time writing in. I want to welcome you properly to the listener feedback. It is fantastic to hear from you, good brother, from Nashville, Tennessee. Wow. Awesome, man. Now let me get into your email here. First off, Lamar Jackson, he's been a little shaky, brother, but we have, what are we, like 4-1 right now? So we're not doing too bad, man. You guys had a rough week last week, though, didn't y'all, though, brother? I mean, y'all played Pittsburgh, and yeah, things didn't go your way, but that's how the ball falls sometime, man. We got to deal with those jokers this weekend, so I'm hoping that we have a better outcome, but anything can happen, man. But yeah, the Emmitt Smith card, golly, trading the Troy Aikman. Would you say a rookie card? And it was a few $1,000s of a difference between the two. Golly, that's tough, man. That is so hard to deal with. I can only imagine after you found out about that. Sheesh. Oh, my gosh. Hard times, brother. Hard times. But let me see. Now, you were asking me, to continue doing the giveaways. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that, man, for sure. Matter of fact, since you mentioned that, I got something coming up right after this, brother. But to finish out your email, you were asking me, do I make the beats? That's not really. I do, but I don't. I mean, I figure, this is the way I figure it. I get these things called sample packs, right? And in each sample pack, you got the samples, you got the drums, you got the bass, you got all of the pianos, all of the different instruments you guys hear when the beats are playing. And I appreciate you, liking those. Thank you so much for that, brother. But I actually just take those samples and I put them into a program, Acid, and I loop the samples, man. So I'm not really putting them together, not like that. I'm not on my MPC tapping them out. I haven't Nah, brother, I ain't got the time to do that, man. I ain't got the time, brother, to be trying to come up with the ideas, man. So lately, I've just been getting these sample packs, and I'll just take them, figure out which samples I like. I'll take those out and which drum patterns I like, and I'll just kind of, put them together. So yeah, that's just to answer that. And your last question you were asking me was, how come I seem pressed to keep the show under an hour? I'm going to be honest with you, Sir William X. I'm going to tell you, brother, and maybe it's just me. I don't know. But, and I would love to get you guys' opinion on this as well. I just feel like since it's just me, it may seem like I'm just, even though I'm talking to y'all, of course I am. I'm communicating, But I just think that if it's one person sometimes just talking, it may get to the point where, you're like, Lee, won't he just wrap it up by now? So I try to be cognizant of people's time. I don't want to hold you guys here too long because sometimes when I'm listening to certain podcasts, like Game Informer and Giant Bomb, I haven't listened to those in a while, but sometimes their podcasts are just so long, man, and they just going on and on about stuff. And I'm like, man, I just want the meat and potatoes of what the gaming news is. Let's just jump into that, please. And it's like, I don't want to be that kind of person, that has you guys sitting here waiting for the information and I'm drawing it out and whatnot. So I just try to get you guys in and out because, like I say, man, I just appreciate y'all being here. To be honest with you, man, just supporting, showing up. I mean, just like you did, Sir William X, writing in. I never take that stuff for granted, man. So the last thing I want to do is just have you guys here forever, just trying to get the news up out of me. So I try to make it as quickly as possible, just as out of respect, for you guys' time. But, yeah, Sir William X, listen, brother, I enjoyed this email, man. It's great to hear from you. First time writing in, been listening for over a year. That means the world to me, brother. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the feedback on continuing to give out the gift cards. I thank you for that. And I ask you, please, Sir William X, don't make this your last time writing in, good brother. Feel free to write in. That's what this show is for. It is for you guys. I appreciate y'all. And I absolutely love hearing back from you. So with that being said, don't let it be your last time, Sir William X. And, by the way, what's up, Sir Tekken? Don't forget to get that man's email, brother. He seems like he wants some smoke with you, brother. Now, moving on into God Dog. Here we go. It's what's up, Sir Tekken. He is up next. Good gracious. I thought it was somebody else, but it's you. One subset. Okay. Now, the title of his email. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Let me back this out for a second. Okay, I thought that's what it said. Okay, the title of one subset Tekken, shout out to you, good brother, is Platinum Pass. That's the title of his email. Now, he says, hello, Kiaun. Hope all is well with you. Yes, it is, good brother. Yes, it is. He says, first, I just wanted to say yes, the term. Oh, man, okay. It's the same thing okay. He says that, Terminator is in Mortal Kombat 11. So yeah, 2 of the top 80s action stars are in one game. Absolutely. He says not to forget Oh, shucks. How about that, man? Who the heck remembers RoboCop is in this doggone game? Oh my goodness. I completely forgot about doggone mother-loving RoboCop. She whiz. He says, when God dog, RoboCop was the joint. I don't know if y'all remember this. I mean, you got me going down memory lane already, what's upset. But do you guys remember the RoboCop arcade game? Oh my gosh, man. That was one of the greatest arcade games of my youth. I don't know who made that. Was that Data East? I believe they made RoboCop because I think Data East had made Bad Dudes as well. I think that was them. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, that RoboCop arcade game was amazing. And then I got it on a Nintendo and it wasn't nowhere near that level, brother. Nowhere near arcade perfection. But brother, let me get to your email. My bad, one subset. He says, not to forget, RoboCop. He says, when these new characters release, there will be some dreams crushed and fulfilled. Absolutely. He says, I also want to co-sign on Crimson Phoenix. Yeah, shout out to that brother. He wrote in last week. He says, I will keep listening with or without the giveaways. Oh man, I appreciate that. He says, and I do have all 3 consoles this generation, but I don't do much gaming on the Nintendo side just because my fiance has made my Switch hers with Animal Crossing. Man, I hear Animal Crossing got everybody. It seems like it really appeals to a lot of women, man. They really enjoy it. I have no idea what Animal Crossing is about, one subset. But even my lady was talking about it. She's not playing it, but she was like, I got friends that actually said they can't wait to play Animal Crossing. So this thing must be like crack cocaine to them, brother. I don't know. But he continues to say, you know how that can go. Yeah, I do, brother. I do. He says, I barely get to see it. LOL. Now in my scrolling across the internet, I have come across this headline title on Google. Now, the title he is sharing with us says, in bold letters, I might add, Xbox boss Phil Spencer teases, quote, streaming sticks and Xbox Game Pass Platinum. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense why your email is that. He says, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has teased the launch of streaming sticks for xCloud as well as a new tier of Xbox Game Pass membership. Now, this is something that I haven't, you actually put me up on something with this, man. No, matter of fact, anyway, let me continue with your email. I'm all over the place here, one subset. Let me get it together, brother. He says, let me see, where did I leave off at? God dog. Okay, he says, this is kind of what I mean when I said that Microsoft might have things that we don't know we want yet. If you are in the Microsoft Xbox ecosystem, you already know that Game Pass is a sweet deal. Now they plan to make it even better with not a huge jump in price because the price point is going to be pivotal to Game Pass's success in the future. All I can say is that once these new consoles launch, we might need to look and see if Microsoft comes out with something new, something new in Game Pass, I think. He says, it's a very good time to be a gamer. At this point, I'm really not thinking about the new consoles on the horizon. What are your thoughts? Well, that's all that's on my mind. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your butt, and please wear a mask and stay safe and bring Florida peace. Now, wait a minute. Now, one sub said, hold on, brother. Now, I got to tell you something, man. I was down in North Carolina yesterday. I just got back today from North Carolina, and I'm going to ask you something, brother. I went past a sign. I put this on everything. I'm dead serious. I went past a sign that said the town of Lucama, brother, and I'm going to tell you where I went. I went down the road maybe about 5 or 6 miles. I was at the truck stop. Near your town, man. I was at the Pilot. It was a Pilot. It was like 3 different truck stops. It was a Pilot. It was a Flying J, and it was something else. I'm curious to know, was that close to where you are, man? Because I saw that sign that said Lucama. I said, oh my gosh, man, I can't believe it. I'm down here with what's up, said Tekken, man. So just let me know, brother. But getting back to your email that I feel like I butchered so bad, man, and I'm so sorry for that, brother. I'm all over the place. I was talking to the buddy of mine, y'all have been introduced to him. AB, we were talking about this streaming stick because I was like, I didn't hear about this. Then I'm like, I did, man. I told y'all my memory is terrible, brother. It's horrible. But anyway, getting to the topic at hand, I don't know how the world I feel about this one subset. Here it is, Phil, he's talking about streaming sticks and Game Pass Platinum and all of this other stuff. Brother, I feel like, and we all know the Game Pass, it is the play. That is their, like I said, that's their golden goose. That is the thing that they're trying to get to its highest potential and having as many people in their ecosystem as possible. This is the way that they're trying to do it, by enticing people to get into this Game Pass model. Now, brother, I have no problems with this. No problem at all. You're supposed to want people to come into your ecosystem, but then where you lose me a little bit, one subset tech, and well, where Phil Spencer, he loses me a little bit is he's talking about these streaming sticks, brother. Now I understand, granted, it's good for the consumer because sometimes I think, us, the hardcore, and I've said this before, we get caught up into how we feel about gaming, how we view gaming, and it's so much bigger than us. We are the minority, and it hurts me to say it, that we are the minority, but I do believe that we push things forward because we're the guys out there that are supporting these AAA games when they release, that are supporting these consoles when they're at their highest price point. So we are absolutely essential to this thing continuing to go on and go forward, because the casual, they're going to buy 1 or 2 games a year. The industry can't survive off of that. So we are definitely the backbone of the industry. But with the streaming sticks, like I said, the hardcore gamer in me, I don't like it because it seems like it just cheapens the Xbox experience. Now, granted, like I said, for the casuals, they're going to enjoy it, one subset. They can get this streaming stick for, I don't know, $30, $50, or whatever the case may be. They'll be able to get a controller and they'll be able to play at 720p or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like it doesn't do the Xbox brand any favors. I don't know. It's something in my mind, brother. Somebody else would probably say that this is fantastic that they're making these games and this console's library so accessible to the masses that how could you say it's a bad idea? I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying I think it just cheapens the experience is all. But who knows, man? Just like I was talking about with AB, shout out to you, brother. Maybe this is another possible gateway into actually getting somebody to commit to Xbox console, possibly, where we know that you're never going to get that premium experience on a stream stick. We know that, it's going to possibly be some pixelation. You're going to have your data cap going up. You're not going to get that smooth frame rate, possibly. It could come with some hiccups. And we know that on the console, you got the disc or you download it digitally. You're not going to have to go through any of those kinds of situations. So I don't know, man. It's yet to be seen. It's an interesting idea, one subset. It is. It's very forward thinking. And I think that, Phil Spencer is, he's thinking out the box a little too much for me with some of this stuff he's talking about. But I don't know, man. It could be a success. It may be. But, man, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to keep our hand on the pulse, brother, and see how this comes out. But one sub said, brother, this, man, what a heck of an email, brother. Matter of fact, hold on. Before we go any further, I didn't do this on purpose. I do this every single time. I was supposed to have done this a couple of minutes ago. Actually, when I was reading Sir William X's email, I was supposed to give this out. So once again, you guys have spoken. I appreciate it greatly. And I have here a $25 Xbox gift card. And first off, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in and giving your feedback. I really wasn't expecting for any of you guys to really comment on it. So it means a ton. It means a ton to me that you guys do enjoy them and y'all do use them. So without further ado, brothers and sisters, let me go ahead and read this code off to you guys. Now, the code is going to get your pens ready. Get your crayons ready, get that paper ready, or just type it on your phone, whatever you need to do. Write this down. Here we go. So $25 for the Xbox store. It is CHK9KGY2JFK QR67R2VDK PJ4GZ. Do me a favor. If you guys do redeem this, I'm asking you, please, because I don't want to have to go through having to check on the Xbox and typing it in, because if I don't hear back from you guys, I'm going to keep reading this off. So do me a favor and just email me. It'll take, I don't know how long it's going to take. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. You know, everybody has a different schedule. But if you could be so kind, just drop me a line and let me know, got it. That's it. That's all I need to know. That's all I ask. You know, just let me know. That's all. But, yeah, man, I truly want to thank you guys. But before we get out of here, hold on. We got another email here from another new person. This is crazy. His name, now, the title of his email is Feedback Response. And this is, his name is Michael Ng. It's another listener, man. Golly. Okay, now, let me get into this email. This is so dope, man. He says, "Good morning, Mr. Mitchell. Good morning. Well, I guess I'm in the evening now, Michael, but good evening to you, Mr. Michael." He says, "I appreciate you reading my email. I was just listening to your recent Digital Foundries podcast, and I heard you wanted feedback on gift cards." Yeah. He says, I personally have redeemed a PlayStation gift card from your podcast, and it helped me to get a new favorite game of mine, Ghosts of Tsushima. Oh, man, that's awesome, man. He says, I appreciated you being so kind to do that. I'm sure they have helped out a lot more people other than me. And just so you know, the gift cards weren't what made me start listening to you. And if you got rid of them, it wouldn't make me stop listening. Man, oh man, very, very kind. Michael, I appreciate that. He says, I like your content and how enthusiastic you are and how you are great at staying on topic and don't veer off like most people do when something controversial or divisive comes up in the news. You stay on point and keep the good vibes coming. Wow. He says, I listen to you for the awesome gaming news and your hilarious, happy, and uplifting personality. It helps a lot of people get their worries off their minds so they can enjoy some good gaming news. Thanks for all you do, and I look forward to your newest and future podcast, Michael A. Ng. Man, I'm speechless after that, brother. I really appreciate that, Michael. I thank you so much for the kind words, brother. I'm not great at taking compliments, you know. But nah, I really, man, that kind of threw me off, brother. I thank you for this. I thank you for the great email, your feedback, and I'm so glad that you enjoyed listening to the podcast, brother. It really means a ton. Honestly, I don't just say it just because it's something to say. It really means the world to me that, you know, people like yourself, Michael, you know, Vaughn, Cody, one subset, Sir William X. I mean, just, all of you guys, Mike J, shout out to him. It means a lot, man. You really kind of hit me with this one, Mike. I'm all somber and whatnot. Golly, you got me off my square for a second, brother. But no, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys have all wrote in and let me know to keep the gift cards coming. That's why I just read it off. And yeah, man, I just really, really appreciated the feedback. Sorry, the volume kind of spiked there for a minute. That was my bad. But yeah, man, trying to get back on my square. God dog. Anyway, hey, Michael, please don't let this be your last time writing in, brother. It was fantastic to hear from you. And I really appreciate you guys saying that y'all would rock with me, even if the gift cards weren't a thing. That really, really means so much to me, guys. But I guess that is going to end it here. And like I said, Michael, feel free to write back in, brother. Thank you. But yeah, that's it, man. That is it for the listener feedback. I want to give you guys a heck of a round of applause, man. This was just fantastic. We got 2 new listeners to write in. We had one subset, Tekken, that wrote in. We had, Sir William X wrote in. Vaughn, he left the voicemails as usual, and I appreciated that. And we got the OG Cody Clark that wrote in as well. This was a special one for me, guys. It really, really was. Just hearing from you guys and just being able to talk with y'all and y'all just taking the time out, man, just to write to me and send me a voicemail. Means a lot, man, because y'all could be doing a billion other things, man, but y'all rocking out with your guy, man, with the guy here, man. So I appreciate that greatly. But we're going to get ready to wrap it up, and we are actually going to end it on schedule. God dog. Hey, Sir William X, I'm going to get out of here, get you guys out of here in less than an hour, man. It's a good day. So anyway, listeners out there, if you want to be a part of the next episode of Listener Feedback, you can do it 2 different ways. Either call in at 443-216-9934 and let your voice be heard. Or you can email the show, and the email address is, of course, the name of the show, the Analog Circle Podcast at gmail.com. I was your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and once again, God dog it, I appreciated y'all spending this time with me. So without further ado, I'm gonna get on out of here. You guys play some games and enjoy yourself. I am out of here, and I will see you guys again on Sunday.